Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we're talking about the Nancy Guthrie case, and we are going to be going through the house, everything in this crime scene, and documents, and why this crime scene feels impossible.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cost. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
And in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Drop the cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Let's go.
Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is April 13th, 2026. It is currently 8:10 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Right here. Good to see everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Good to see every one of your beautiful faces in chat. Tonight, we're talking about the Nancy Guthrie case, and I have been going through it all. today, to say the very least. And we got documents, we've got video, and a lot of things that we're going to talk about in this live stream. Much better, Jen. Much better. Thank you so much for asking. Good to see you, my friend. Let me say hello to a few of you. Not Law, Miss Roxy, Wendy, Connie, Miss Ginger, Miss Mama, Pam. Good to see you. And hello, Shari. Good to see you. Christy. Good to see you, my friend. Wendy, Lorette. It's very, very strange. Miss Pam, good to see you. Brian, hello, my friend. Robin, Army Vet, bonjour. Miss Mama 3, hello. Tina, who else do we got? Pam, Lil Red, Amy, Sherry, Connie, Peace of Jesus to all. Hello. Oh, you're very sweet. Thank you so much, my dear. MMJMMCAR. Good to see you, my friend. Miss Jen again, Wendy, Robin. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you, Miss Tina. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, Holly. Good to see everyone. Guys, before we get started, if you would be so kind and please hit that thumbs up button, and or if you're on the mobile, if you'll double tap that screen so it lets the algorithm know that you are here. And if you would be so kind and think about hyping this video, you get 3 hypes a week. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's kind of like a big thumbs up for the algorithm. Also, if you would share the live out, would mean a lot as well. Hit that share button, copy it in any of your favorite social media. Really, really does mean a lot. You're good. You're good. Lorette, I know sometimes it's hard to keep up with saying hello to everyone. I get it. Hey, Holly, good to see you. Oh, very kind of you, Holly. Thank you so much, my dear. I appreciate that. Very, very kind. You guys are incredible to me. So I really, truly do appreciate you. Hey, Joe, good to see you. Summer Breeze. I haven't saw the hype button for about a week. We only get 3 a week, so that might be why if you've used them. Hey, Jab, good to see you. How do you hype? So it has to be after the video is over. And if you'll look like in the comment section, there'll be like 3 little dots or whatever, kind of like scroll left or right, scroll, and it'll say certain amount of points right there, and it'll say hype right beside of it. And that's how you hype. If one of the mods can maybe give like the actual how you hype it, like how Google says it, maybe drop it in chat. I'd appreciate that. Hey, Ducci, good to see you. Thank you so much. Very kind, very kind. Hey, Kimberly, Tony, good to see Tori, rather. I'm sorry. He always late, Connie. Once I get started saying hello to everyone, I feel like if I don't say hello to everybody, I feel bad. D White, Wendy. So sorry. Not sorry. I'm not sorry, but yeah. All right. So there's a lot to go over tonight, and I've got some interesting documents that I want to look at before we get into the main part of the live stream tonight. I'm sure some of you have seen some of these, maybe some of you haven't, but I've got some commentary. Hey, Brandy, good to see you, my friend Leslie, Michelle. Thank you so much. On some of these things, and yeah, so we're gonna get right to it here in just 1 second. So I was looking at uh, some of the documents from Derek, the one who messaged Tommaso and all of them, and I wanted to go over some certain things that the FBI documents that they put out. Maybe some of you seen, maybe some of you haven't. In my opinion, I believe that Nancy was unalived somewhere different. then brought to the house, and even the blood in front and the inside of the door was dropped on there. I mean, anything is possible, Isabella, right? Anything is possible. In my opinion, I don't believe that's probable, but it is possible. Anything is absolutely possible, right? In this case. The only case I've ever been this confused about, and I still have my opinion on it, is the Jean Benet Ramsey case. That's it. I really usually have. Um, you haven't seen it yet, so okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you tonight. So, if you guys remember, um, Derek, the one we were talking about the other night, he is the one that's in the band in California, um, and kind of he's the one that was accused of what's the word? With this ransom letter, right? And hi, found you last week. Well, thank you so much, Mary. Welcome, Marianne. I apologize. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Hopefully, you subscribe and give us a chance. Once I go back to hype, I press it, like the button which takes me to the video. Then I like the video again. Oh, thank you so much, Jackie. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Okay. Um, I believe he's sus too. I believe he's sus too. But this is the thing with this case. I can literally see any of them being sus that we have talked about in their own right. Um, but I do believe this is not a one man band. How Miss Nancy went missing, right? By the way, police were back at Nancy's earlier. FBI was, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to show you that here in just a little bit. They're not out there now, but they were a little bit earlier. I want to know when Tommaso got back home after taking Nancy home. I just can't shake thinking he and Annie had something to do with this. I understand always late, and um, I get it. I get it. There are some people that are absolute dead set that there is no way, no way, no how. And then there are people that are like, yeah, something's a little weird here. And then there are people that just, throwing their hands up and they're like, nothing would surprise me with any of them, to be honest with you. But I want to go over this real quick with you. Not to steer it to a different topic, but quick note. Did you see if they charged the stepbrother in the Anna? Yes, I did. Yes, 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 yes. They did finally. 16 years old. This bothers me. Why did he not walk her to the house and make sure she was safe, like he did not care about? Again, every family's different, but to me, the way that the way that Savannah described um, Annie and Tommaso of caring, that they were the caregivers for Miss Nancy, and that Nancy wanted to stay in her house, but there was I guess they had talked to her before about, maybe moving out of her house or whatever. Again, if you're her caregiver, I would think that you would probably walk her to at least make sure she's inside okay. That's just me, but I don't know. Oh, Miss Dolores, thank you so much, my friend. We appreciate that. Much love to you, Miss Dolores. Thank you so much, Mama. Good to see you. In my opinion, doesn't make him guilty, but doesn't really show this deep, caring attitude toward Nancy. I think that's a fair way of saying that, Holly. I agree. To me, what we're going to get into tonight, in the real meat and potatoes in this live stream, is how what was found at the crime scene and the circumstances at the crime scene and how everything lined up with this day. And to me, it seems a little improbable that all of this happened. Thank you, Miss Mary. Appreciate you, my dear. And wouldn't you also have the cameras in the house working? Going to get to that for sure. By the way, if you'd have a view of the goings, so Nancy spoke about a camera in I want to say November. I'm going to show you the receipts to that here in just a minute. Maybe some of you have seen it, maybe some of you have not. We've talked about it before, but I want to get to Derek right here. And this is on or about, again, this is the federal government writing this, on or about February 4th, 2026. Okay. So, few days after Nancy goes missing, Derek, he with the intent to transmit a demand for ransom, did to transmit in interstate or foreign commerce any communication containing any demand or request for ransom or reward for the release of any kidnapped person is violation to 18. Okay, watch this. And that was count one. Count two, in interstate or foreign communications, made a telephone call and utilized a telecommunication device, whether or not a conversation or communication ensues, without disclosing his identity and with intent to abuse, threaten, or harass any specific person, bias of complainant's charge. Okay. Here we go. This was 2/5/26, 2/4/26. All right, watch this. Nancy Guthrie, NG, was last seen at her residence in the Catalina Foothills community outside Tucson, Arizona, on January 31st, 2026. Nancy Guthrie is an 84-year-old woman with mobility issues that likely preclude her from walking long distances unassisted. Okay. On the morning of February 1st, 2026, a friend of Nancy Guthrie's contacted the victim's family and notified them that Nancy Guthrie had not attended church that morning. At approximately noon on February 1, 2026, Nancy Guthrie's family entered her residence and determined that she was missing and reported her disappearance to law enforcement. So they, according to this document, you know how like some people would have just like went to the door maybe, right? And just kind of stepped back, yelled through the door or whatever. That seems to not happen here. It doesn't make it one way or another more suspicious. I just want you to understand that this document says they entered the residence, right? Wendy, 22 months. What a legend. This case baffles my brain. I know. Thank you so much, Miss Wendy. Really, really do appreciate you for 22 months. That is amazing, truly. Really, thank you so much. What's interesting to me, chat, Wendy, is that it feels like some of these criminals are getting more intelligent with some of these crimes. You know what I mean? It's like they are really getting more intelligent. Tucson, wish it stated which way family entered. Yes, me too. Front door where the blood droplets via the back doors where it was propped open. Yes. Hey Norman, it's good to see you, my friend. Aw, that's very kind. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hey Joan, good to see you. Okay. So they entered uh the house. Now, again, there's only really a few ways that they can enter. Back doors, at least one of them was open. Garage doors or front door, which again, blood outside, blood inside. Little questionable. There is no time stamp of them entering the garage door, though, which means they couldn't have done it from the app. It would have had to been done with the keypad, with the combination, or the clicker, right? Miss Michelle, thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support, my love. You did. Really do appreciate you, Miss Michelle. Hello, Justin and everyone. Hello, my darling. Really appreciate you, Miss Michelle. Good to see you. I'm confused by the case. No proof of any level with this case. There's no, I mean, that's the thing. It is a mystery, right? There's things we know. We know that this guy is a creep. He is alleged one of the suspects, or maybe the only suspect. He was allegedly there on the 11th of January and the early morning hours of February 1st. That is Nancy's blood, and Nancy was taken against her will. You know what I mean? Really, always late. It should only happen like every 20 minutes. I've got it set on the like one of the longest. Alicia, good to see you, my dear. Thank you so much. My beautiful pearls. We might be talking about the one that pops up with the chat. I hate those. Hey, my beautiful pearls, chat, Justin, Remy, and even my favorite driving and shopping. Oh, we love you, darling. Thank you so much. At 11 months, you are a rock star, my dear. Thank you so much. And I love your autism photo. By the way, speaking of autism, I think I'm going to talk about Sebastian's case tomorrow. I want to try, or might even do a video about it. I don't know. There's some stuff that, some ridiculous stuff that's been coming out, and I want to talk about it. You would probably rush to thinking she fell, not thinking a crime, if innocent, destroying evidence. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Isabel. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so very much, my dear. Really, really do appreciate you, Miss Isabel. We'll dwindle back, so thank you so much, Isabel. And thank you so much for being a pearl. Really, really do appreciate you, my dear. Remember, BKLE were quiet until the raid. They had him. I agree. I agree. You know what just worries me with this case is obviously the sheriff, and that he completely screwed this case early on. Doesn't mean, all is lost by any stretch of the imagination. Just that, and just the very much inconsistent reporting, that kind of worries me. But we're going to get into a lot of it. I need to quit gabbing here because I need to read this little part here, or I'll be here literally 7 hours tonight. Okay, we read that part. Law enforcement arrived shortly thereafter and determined. So at approximately noon on February 1, 2026, Nancy Guthrie's family entered the residence and determined that she was missing and reported her disappearance to law enforcement. Do we know what time law enforcement arrived there? I'm trying to remember. Law enforcement arrived shortly thereafter and determined that Nancy Guthrie had left basic essentials, excuse me, inside her home, including her wallet, car, cell phone, hearing aid, and medication. Nancy Guthrie's blood was found on the outside of her residence near the porch. Now, again, it doesn't mention anything about the inside, but you've got to remember this only gives you a little bit, maybe one, usually about 1 or 2% of what they know. They don't say everything. On February 2nd, now listen to this. This is what I don't understand here. Okay, listen to this. On February 2nd, 2026, KOLD, a CBS affiliate in Tucson, Arizona, received a ransom demand via their online tip portal. The demand listed a Bitcoin wallet address to receive the ransom payment. Okay. That's one. Okay. KOLD, February 2nd. On February 4th, 2026, Nancy Guthrie's family published a video asking Nancy Guthrie's kidnappers to contact them about their mother 2 days after the ransom letter hit KOLD. Counts 1 and 2. On or about February 4th, 2026, shortly after the video was published, AC, Annie, and TC, Tommaso, the daughter and son in law of Nancy Guthrie, both separately received a text message from the following phone number stating, quote, "Did you get the Bitcoin? We're waiting on our end for the transaction," end quote. AC and TC received these texts while in Arizona. Law enforcement was able to determine through open source methods that the 0552 number was associated with a voice over internet protocol known as a VoIP number, like a Google phone number, text now phone number kind of thing. A text and call application that allows users to obtain another phone number for their mobile device separate from the number assigned to them by their wireless carrier. Law enforcement submitted an emergency disclosure request for the 0552 number. Based on the records provided for the 0552 number was registered to the following email address, derekella@gmail.com. And it talks about his phone number, his IP address. At approximately 6:02 p.m. on February 4th, 2026, law enforcement submitted an emergency disclosure request to the internet provider at the IP address, and the address was associated with Kaela's residence in California. Okay. Now, after Miranda warnings, Kaela admitted to sending 2 text messages. He admitted to using the VoIP account from which 2 actual text messages came from. Kaela stated that he pulled the family information from a cyber website. What is considered a cyber website? Just does that mean just online website? Is that what we mean as an online website? Um, Thank you, Miss Cindy. Good to see you, my dear. CC Moore said that the FBI needed to go back to Nancy's and swab. Yes, we're gonna get to a lot of that in just a minute. I promise. I promise. I just want to go over this real quick. Um, that he got this information from a cyber website and that he had been following along and watching TV. When he said he sent text messages, he was trying to see if the family would respond. Data received shows that approximately 3 minutes after the text messages, Kaela called a family member of Nancy Guthrie's, which lasted 9 seconds. The two text messages have not been linked to the February 2nd, 2026 ransom demand. Okay, now, got a question on that. If we go to the timeline, okay, Nancy goes missing, technically February 1, right? Okay, February 1. February 1, they had issued a silver alert, all of that, right? Okay. Unknown time. KOLD knows a CBS affiliate in Tucson reported that it received a letter demanding payment for the Guthrie release. Okay. So it had to be. So on February 2nd, that was when the first ransom letter came out. Okay, cool. That's it's very interesting. Very interesting here. Okay. Second thing is I've got so many documents. We'll come back to some of the documents. Oh, let me show you this real quick. Let me show you this. Guys, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button if you're just joining us. Thank you guys so much. To say the least, my gut is telling me it's not family. I don't know, Miss Leslie. I don't know. So did the Bitcoin paid out? Hey, Mish, good to see you. Why was there no other ransom note after the family brought up that they thought of kidnapping days later? I don't know. Nancy Guthrie. Look at this, guys. November 21st, 2025. Nancy writes, I'm thinking about buying a Ring or Nest security doorbell camera. Any suggestions? Which has the best camera? Question mark. Interested in seeing animal activity at night. Thank you, my dear. Hey, Brandy. Thank you, baby. Would Nancy write something like this? I mean, I believe this came from, I don't know. I mean, this came from her account. That's strange to me for some reason. It is. Yes. To me, it almost feels like this person was planning this for a while. Again, this is about the end of November. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't she just ask her son or daughters? I mean, some people will ask. You know what I mean? Some people will ask. I would love to see the comments here. right? Love to see the comments here. 4 reactions. Uh, is this Facebook? I'm guessing? I don't know. And, she's still got a happy Easter photo here. I can tell you this is 100% legit, 1,000% legit. But I feel like it was well planned. Did she know what nest and ring was? Well, this brings me to my next point, right? I can promise you she did, Kim. I mean, I no, I can't say she wrote it, but I can say it came from her account, an account of hers. Right. I can't say that. Um, I can't say she wrote it though. Dog died in December, yes. What is weird to me is if Nancy was curious about the nightlife, right, the animals, with the animals, um, and she looked at her doorbell, fairly often, why didn't she notice? Big question here. Why didn't she notice? Well, she didn't have a subscription, but how much time does it save on your app if you don't have a subscription? They do give you alerts. Yes, they do give you alerts. But an alert, you don't know what it is, right? Why not put up cameras like deer hunters use? But, this is the thing. Nobody installs a Nest doorbell camera in something that your porch is enclosed to look at animals. Doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make sense to me. But I thought we found out that she did have, in fact. No, where did you hear that, Brandy? Who told you that? They just don't. That's just weird that they don't have a scripture. Yeah, I know she had, and he could have something going on. Wonder if she had some. I love wildlife, and I've never heard that. Just well, there is 6 comments. Yes, I'd love to know who commented on it. I can't remember. I'm so confused. Yeah, there was no subscription. I know that. I know that there was no subscription. But this is my thing, right? Remember, this guy messed allegedly messed with this camera on January 11th. January 11th. Okay? If she's looking at the nightlife and all of that, I don't think Nancy is going to stay up at 3 o'clock in the morning and just look at the nightlife with the animals rather than have a subscription, right? That's okay, Brandy. There's so much going on in this case. People have said so much in this case. Um, Oh, that's for damn sure. That's for damn sure, Jeanette. Yeah. Mhm. I have a photo online. It shows the camera being monitored on a tablet behind her on a table. It shows the camera being monitored. Can you send that? Can you send that? To me, the guy seems like he has mental illness. I'm perplexed. Well, what I don't understand is this right here. Like, if she's using this for wildlife, you're going to have some sort of subscription. I thought sheriff said it lapsed and no subscription. There is no subscription. No subscription. Right, Bobby. Um, the entire. I mean, that's the whole reason. You got to remember that's the whole reason we have these photos, right? Because there wasn't a subscription, and Google did their magic, right? Um, I was going to say the same thing. Post from 2021. What was the post from 2021? She could watch the outdoor cameras on her phone. Yeah. But this is the thing. Most people don't catch the animals live. It's kind of like, well, if you catch them live, that's great, but you're not likely to like catch animals live outside, at any unless you're looking at it. But if it's being recorded, you can go back and look at the animals, that was out there, and it'll come on. But again, if this guy was out there messing with her camera on the 11th, you mean to tell me she didn't check her camera between January 11th and February 1st? Oh, is it November 25th, 2021? Is it 25th? Hold on. 25th day, 11th month, year 21. I said 2025, didn't I? It's the 25th day of November 2021. I completely had a dyslexic moment. Yes. So this is 2021. Okay. Well, that explains a lot. So these cameras would be, again, years old. Years old. I thought it said 2025 too. Yeah, me too. So that would explain why she didn't probably have a subscription. I mean, I always thought the cameras were older anyway, but I mean, think about this. If she had these cameras since 2021, November 2021, right? December 2022, um, November 2021, 22, 23, 24. She's close to 5 years, right? 5 years. These weren't just immediately installed. So, we had been thinking about this person or persons. Maybe they just installed her cameras recently, and maybe they would have her uh, logins, but that doesn't seem to be the case. If she got these cameras in 2021 or 2022, right? So it's not because someone. generally installs these things for older people. Someone generally installs these things for older people, right? They set up the brackets, they run the wire, they set up the accounts, they connect it to the Wi-Fi. And it seems like this didn't happen recently. So you can look at it a different way now. Hamitude, how you doing, babe? Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you very, very much. Really do appreciate you. You received that pearl necklace from Hamitude. Make sure you thank our dear Hamitude for that. Really, really do appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for your support. Can't do it without you. Okay, look at this. All right, so that was 2021. Now, electrical inspection, right? It passed electrical inspection January 5th, 2026. Okay, look at this. Let's go to January 5th. That's on a Monday. That's on a Monday, January 5th. Okay. Of course, the city doesn't come out there during the weekends, right? But it said remote pass all bonding and grounds are per. So, right. But look at this. 9/25, September 25th, 2025. It was not ready. On site, pending verification for grounding system. See that? 9/25/26. Final approval is pending for verification. Now, what's interesting to me is it passed on the 5th. Got that. Just a few days after, this guy's at the door. This guy's at the door on the 11th, allegedly. Remember, they're very interested in the 11th. I don't know. Who was this electrician? Who was this inspection guy? Could be an electrician. I think so. Could be. I mean, I've got a photo of the electrician, and I think it looks pretty weird, if you ask me. Repeat that, please. January 5th, 2026. There is her final electric passed, her inspection, January 5th. Allegedly, January 11th, this guy is at her door. Right? Now, what's interesting to me, wait a second. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Am I looking at something wrong? Wait a what? Why? Okay. Why does it say 1/5/2026? I'm looking at my calendar right now. Okay, 1/5. Maybe I was looking at it wrong. Okay. January 5th. Okay, January 5th, 2026. That's on a Monday. And then it says January 6th. That's on a Tuesday. Okay. So let's think about this. If January 5th, let me pull up a calendar of January so y'all can see this much better. January 2026 calendar. Okay. Y'all got to see this. Check this out. All right. So you can see this presentation. All right. Upload. There we go. Okay, here's the calendar. I got to get to the other stuff, but I got to see. I got to show you this. Okay. So this is the day, the 5th, red circle. Well, I'll do a blue circle. This is the day that it was past inspection. It says the 5th, and then it says the 6th. Okay. This is the day that the guy was at the house, right? So the 5th, January 5th, 2026, remote pass inspection, it says. January 6th, remote pass inspection, which means that was a Monday and a Tuesday. I think it was really the 5th, and they just did more paperwork on the 6th after it was finalized. I think it was really the 5th, which means it had to have been, finished. This is when they inspected it. So it had to be either done the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd, the 1st, or sometimes in December. And then you got the 11th. This guy is at her. Seems like everything's always happening around the weekends. You know what I mean? Miss Laura, good to see you, darling. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for always providing great content. That's so kind. Thank you so much, Miss Laura. Really appreciate that, my dear. Very kind of you. And thank you so much for your support, my friend. Really, really do appreciate you. The case just gets more bizarre by the day. It really does. It really does. But we do have this was going back, this electrician, the electrical inspection was going back all the way to September 2025. Okay. Another thing I want to show you, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Greatly appreciate y'all being here. February 9th, the Southern Arizona Rescue Association, they give a timeline of what they went through searching for Nancy, and how they searched for Nancy. And so I know that there was a little bit of questions about how much was Nancy searched for. Was she searched for that much? I want to show you what they say and a timeline for this. Been digging here. Okay. The Southern Arizona Rescue Association had a busy start to February. Okay. Two of these missions have been much higher profile in nature than usual and very difficult from friends and families involved. Sarah is provided, SARA is proud to serve the community and honored to be a trusted partner of the Pima County Sheriff's Department, okay, in helping families finding answers during the difficult time. February 1st, 4 p.m. February 1st at 4 p.m., they requested to start searching for Nancy. Now, remember, um, the Pima County isn't there till a little bit after noon, right? And at 4 p.m., the call goes in if they could kind of go search for Nancy then on the 1st. Was requested by Pima County Sheriff's Department to assist in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Throughout the night into the morning, teams searched desert areas and neighborhoods around the Guthrie home, documenting all findings for use by law enforcement agencies. We encourage anyone with information to please contact 888 crime, right? Okay. This is another case. These were just the other things. None of this is about Nancy, but they you can see some of the photos of them searching. That's incredible. Look at that desert. I mean, look at these rocks and stuff in the desert. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Absolutely crazy. Okay. Here we go. Already showed that. All right. I want to go to our friend, Chris McDonough from the interview room. Whoops, wrong one. And show you something here. He had an amazing panel last night, and I have some thoughts on it and batten down the hatches because it's really good. He had truly a full panel up there. Dr. Gary Ricardo, he makes, I think Chris did just a video on Dr. Gary, did an amazing piece last night.
Buckle, all of that. And so
let me find the timestamp. Where's the timestamp? 13
things that we pay attention to when we hear about it.
This is all collectively.
Okay, here we go.
Stand on it.
Homicide detectives or forensic psychologists or specialists like we are, you develop. Well, I think you actually start out with naturally, and then you hone a very particular way of thinking about a case. And there are a number of steps that we go through and things that we pay attention to when we hear about a case. The way we filter information is different, I think, than an unexperienced person or a person who doesn't work in that field or a person in the general population would do. And what we were talking about is that, you could take any case, but in particular, might be interesting for the public to do with the Guthrie case, is really to sort of discuss how to think like a person who is on the professional side of this stuff, who really...
1 second. This wasn't it. I think it was 1309 or 1509.
Screening of different personality types. What type of
Here it is.
personality makes a good homicide investigator?
Now, this is a tricky question.
I
Because
know.
you
I
mean
loaded one too. You
the
weren't
good
ready.
ones who are attracted to it, or the disturbed personalities that are
No.
drawn to it for the wrong reason, because that
Well,
happens too.
We're talking about coppers here. So
Okay, you mean the
makes the
people that
good one?
really should be doing it. Well,
Yeah.
it's an interesting thing. I think
Hold on, guys. I'll find the second one. We'll come back to this part. Maybe I got my time wrong.
It always says, or she was considered.
It's so weird. Like when I try to do a timestamp on my phone, it always shows like the minus. And then when I'm on my desktop, it doesn't. So sometimes I get the times
Just
wrong.
missing, and it wasn't until the information about the blood on the front doorstep became available that, okay, this is something more than just a person who's walked away, an elderly woman who's walked away, had medical issues, maybe
Yeah, that's what I
medicine
was
issues
looking.
as well. There's a little bit more to this. So now everything gets amped up and you start bringing in other resources. And that's what the sergeant of your team is there for, is to make those resources available to you so you can focus as the lead detective or detectives on just the crime
Yeah,
scene initially
GMA.
until you have some semblance of an idea of what may have happened. This is one of those tough cases where there's apparently very little physical evidence that we know of. And of course, we're working from hindsight because we don't have access to the murder books. We don't have access to the interviews with witnesses. We don't have access to the crime scene photos inside the house. We're only, speculating like you guys have been doing in past episodes, and it's tough for us to speculate accurately without having that inside information about what the actual homicide team or investigative team in Pima County knows that we don't know, and that they've kept close to the vest because for the integrity and security of the case, we as detectives can't release a lot of information to the public because that would then ultimately, hinder any prosecution down the road. And it looks like this case
Thank you,
is
Ginger.
rapidly turning into a
There
cold
we
case
go.
because the leads have stopped coming in. We don't know what's going on with any DNA evaluations right now. I don't know how much DNA samples that have been collected that are currently being worked on, but these days DNA goes a lot quicker than they did back in the 80s and late 80s and 90s when it first became a thing. We had sometimes have to wait up to 10 or 11 months to get a DNA result back. So there's a lot of
It used to be a
speculation,
really long
and,
time.
and I think I can stop right there. But that's my take on arriving at a scene such as this one, as opposed to a body scene where you actually have a body and then you work from the body out, and vice versa with your team members. So this is a very unique case, a whodunit case with no body, and these are extremely tough to investigate, especially after what is it, 2 months now? She's been missing. They've got their hands full, and they've got a long road ahead still.
Yep. Great insight. John, Bob, anything you guys want to dovetail into our first open up here?
You want to go first, Bob?
Sure. Yes. As I said before, beauty before age. So thank you, John. I appreciate that. The
You are pretty.
the thing.
Okay.
The thing.
I found it.
Actually, I agree.
To me, it is so funny when Dr. Gary gets tickled. Watch him. Like that makes it that.
With
Watch him.
the thing.
Watch him.
The thing. Actually, I agree with.
That's a good belly laugh right there. That's a good belly laugh. Laura, thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you for welcome. Thank you for renewing, my dear. We rag on each other. Yeah, you got to. You have to. Thank you so much, my friend, for renewing. Really do appreciate you. Hammy, love you, darling. Thank you so much. Incredibly kind with you. Thank you guys for playing her with my Thank you, Miss Hammy. Really appreciate you, my darling. Truly do appreciate you. Very kind of you. I love you, darling. The case is tough. So sad. Yes. And it needs to be over and done with, right? Needs to be over and done with quickly. Stat pronto. Okay. So let me find it here. So thank you, Ginger, for sending, because this is what I was looking for earlier. And I was looking at the wrong time thingy. Okay. So there is a difference whenever You are, if someone, for instance, you are unalived, you are almost, not always, but particularly women, are more likely to be unalived by someone they know, even more than men. Uh, I think with the women, it's like 75, 70 some percent of the time, you're more likely to be unalived. Now, in that, because it's domestic relationships, right? Men, it's still over half. It's over 50%. I know that. Um, Children, it's up to 90 some percent. But generally with DVs, but an 84-year-old woman. Now think about
The
that.
mass murder database at Columbia, right? Okay. So the first thing that I would be thinking about, because I think the point of this conversation is how do you think about a case, right? The first thing I would be thinking about is this. Let's say we have to first think, is this a homicide or is this an abduction, right? Or is this something else like a robbery that went haywire? And the
Okay.
reason it's important is because there are different probabilities in each bucket, okay? So if we're talking about a homicide, 60% of people that are killed know the person who killed them.
I think that's a combination. It's more for females. I knew that.
In some personal.
Hold on. Let me Google it. Let me Google it. 2021 data, 76% of female MURDR victims are unalived by someone that they know. For males, it's 56%. So that's probably 60% combined, close
way,
to, yeah.
All right. So you're already leaning in the direction of it's more probable that it's not a stranger who killed you.
Off the
That's
bat.
important.
Off
If
the
you're
bat.
female, there's about a 92% chance that you personally knew the person who killed you.
I didn't know he was going to say this part. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That's extremely important. So about 92% of women, it is estimated, who are killed by their boyfriend, their husband, or a former romantic partner or a family member, right? 8 out of 10 sexual assaults
See,
are
I don't
committed by
see
somebody
that.
who knew you. That's extremely important. Then you say, okay, well, let's start with the sexual motivation. Okay.
No
Somebody
way.
broke in to attack an 84-year-old woman sexually. Somebody in the chat suggested it. Okay. First,
So Dr. Gary, he's giving his professional opinion. I guess, like, I don't want to say he's giving his he might be giving his personal opinion. I don't know. I shouldn't have said that. So maybe it's professional, maybe it's personal. I don't know. On this and about who the disturbing personality traits Dr. Gary Ricardo found in the Guthrie suspect. Okay. Does anyone think that this is sexual in nature? Anybody? I don't see it at all. Particularly with the well planning, and her being an older lady like this. I not at all, at all. I don't believe this person's going to be there on the 11th, stalking Nancy out while she goes to her daughters and son-in-laws at
First
all.
of all, statistically speaking, the kind of person who would do that is very, very rare. There are only, in the United States in 2024, the last time I know this data to have been released, there were only, I have the number, actually, I wrote it down. There were.
Oh, thank you, Jan. Chris is my buddy. We've done panels together, usually on Josh's or something. He needs to, Chris will come on sometimes, I'm sure. If I asked him, I just haven't asked him. I know he's busy, so, but thank you so much. We did it on Josh's. Thank you so much. 7 months. You are a legend and a rock star. Thank you so very much, my dear. Really, really, really do appreciate that, my love. No, Porch Guy had too many layers on. Good point as well. It would have taken him a long time to remove some of it. Well, and usually and think about this, someone who's going to SA, you know, an 84-year-old like that, they usually are not going to stay 40 some minutes as well. And then, um, leave every door in the house open. And
381 killings of people
thank you so much.
older than 75 years old in the United States. Okay, already extremely rare. Then embedded within that, what's the probability of a sexual assault on that individual? Minuscule, tiny.
Very
Then you
tiny.
have the fact that a sexual assault by a stranger is actually, it does happen, but the idea is you have to look at the age range at which it.
But this is again, this is the other statistic as well. You are far more likely to be SA'd by someone you know or affiliated with than most people just don't go again unless you're some absolutely, I mean, they're all depraved, don't get me wrong, but there is levels. Most people won't just, you know, go into a house in the middle of the night and unalive someone for fun of it. There's usually a motivation. There has to be um, a feeling behind it, if you will, right? Um, Usually you don't unalive someone. You don't really you've had some care. You've had some sort of relationship with some way or another in the past. You've gotten obviously angry or felt used or abused or whatever. The same with SA or R. It is again usually someone that is you're close to. You don't just you know uh, pick someone up off the street generally. I mean, does it happen? Yes, but it's far more great uh, being someone you know.
Tends to happen. Okay. So first of all, you're super rare when you're at the level of that age, and statistics tell us that the person will be most likely that who would do
Savannah,
that
you're
would
okay,
be
Leslie?
most likely to be a family member, and about 70% of the time when it happens to elders, it happens in a nursing home or in your own home. Okay.
Do you guys remember that janitor who worked in a nursing home and got that woman pregnant? One of the patients. Y'all remember that? Oh my God.
Okay.
She was like
Now,
brain dead.
so what does that tell you? That the notion of an outsider coming in and attacking an elderly woman, sexually assaulting her and
Listen to
killing
this.
her, you're now taking unlikely on top of unlikely on top of unlikely on top of, and you get down to something that would be like extremely profoundly rare.
It would be so profoundly rare. There probably wouldn't be any other person out there or any other certainly any other statistics out there. Uh, it
Okay.
just is almost
Then
an
you add on
absolute
top of
no.
that the fact that the statistics tell us that if somebody were to do that, they would be likely to do it serially. So then you say, okay,
Serially.
how many sexually assaulting serial killers are there in the United States at any given time? It's estimated there are about 250. So we would be suggesting that one of those 250 approximately killers, who are most likely male, right, are breaking into a home to sexually assault a woman and kill her. Then what would you say? You'd say statistically, most likely that person has done it before, is probably somewhere in the records of prior sex offending, or probably has been arrested
One
before
second.
because they're going to keep doing it. And within a geographic area, you're going to start to see a popping up of more cases of it, right? You all see where I'm going with this? Rare. So forget that one. Throw that one out the window. It's very now. Is it possible? Of course. It's also possible I'll walk outside and a piano will fall on my head, but it's not probable. Okay, so let's put that over there. Then you say, what about the possibility of abduction? Okay, there are 350 abductions approximately a year in the United States. That's it. And out of them, the vast majority of them are children. And when they are children, believe it or not, most of them are taken by people who know them. There is only a 0.001% chance that when you are abducted as a child, that you're being sent off to sexual slavery or held as a sexual slave in someone's home or any of those things. But the public's imagination goes to that stuff. Super rare. Even rarer than that, an elderly woman being abducted for non-sexual reasons.
Exactly.
Also extremely improbable. The most likely scenario, because it happens 1 million times a year or more in the United States, is there is a financial motive. And as
Yes. Um, and I would, I might email Dr. Gary and ask him on this because again, how would I do think there is a financial motive to this, but I feel like the people feel slighted about the financial or whatever. But I was also thinking maybe, maybe, for instance, Nancy was having or had some work done, right? And she didn't like the work. And she said, I don't like the work. I want you to redo it. I'm not paying you if you don't redo it, or I'll take you to court if you don't redo it. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Could that, I mean, some really small businesses, right? Think about this. I mean, some of them are in such dire straits. One job can truly bankrupt them. You know what I mean? Ego or pride, absolutely. Hey, fine summer. Good to see you, baby.
as I said, statistics tell us if you have a female individual who is killed or sexually assaulted in the United States, they know the person who did it to them. Now we couple that with the comfort that we see on that video, the fact that we've deduced from the timeline that this person spent a great deal of time in that house. There's no evidence of there having been a robbery because we don't know of anything having been taken. And an abduction also seems ridiculous because if you're abducting a person for money, you sort of want them intact. You don't want them bleeding. You would take their medication. You don't leave their meds and have a
Exactly.
stopped pacemaker. So then you start saying, okay, well, based on probability, if it's somebody who knows you and the most likely thing is financial, then you would look at the inner circle of people who know you and how they would financially benefit from taking it, from doing something to you. You see where I'm going with this? You all follow the
Okay.
probability game? Okay. So then once you get down to that, then we look at this video and we start saying, okay, well, this person is on the screen. What can we feel out about this person? So, Chris, if you put the video up, if you don't mind, on the screen. Now, let me emphasize that person who knows you can mean anything. Doesn't have to be super intimate. They just know you. Could be a person who worked with you. Could be the mailman. Could be the guy who cleaned the pool. You guys know what I mean? Could be. So when we're giving those statistics, we mean somebody has more than a passing connection with you. They're going to know some stuff about you. So then when you look at this offender, what you want to do is try to imagine the psychology based partially on that person's intelligence. The first thing I do when I think about something, I have to step into that person's intelligence level, right? So this is not a person
Yes.
based.
Someone just messaged me and said, think about this. I mean, what if, she was said something about someone's license being in danger, like their business license, their construction license. One job bankrupt me. I can only imagine raising children at this day and age. Thank God I was okay when yeah, Sasha. It can happen. It can happen as well. Now, I don't think, in my opinion, that's what happened in this case. my opinion. Uh, but I do think that it is possible. I've got some more documents we're going to go over here in just
using
a
the
second.
flowers in front of the camera and some of the other getting caught on the camera after, and all this other stuff. You start thinking, okay, the person's intelligent enough to kind of get away with this, but this is a person who did some planning and still did some pretty stupid things here, right? So this is not a top rate intelligence here, right? I mean, we would all agree, right? This is not, we're not dealing with Stephen Hawking here, right? Am I
Yeah.
correct about that? Okay. I mean, this is not Stephen Hawking. And then, so the first thing that I would think about
Sorry.
is you're dealing with a person
That's funny.
who probably isn't the brightest bulb in the entire world. So we already are getting a feel for a person. Then you start thinking about
I love Dr. Gary's humor. We're not dealing with Stephen Hawking here. Yes. Y'all know who Stephen Hawking is, right? Remember? The universe is, he had talked like the robot. Our universe is vast, kind of thing. Remember Stephen Hawking? He was in the wheelchair. He had the computer at the time.
the outfit that the person brought
Physicist.
and the things that they did that don't make a lot of sense, like the holster, the way that the holster is being held, and the way that the gun doesn't match the holster, and all that kind of behavior. And you start thinking to yourself, additionally, this may not be a professional. So you have an unprofessional quality on top of not being especially bright. Then you have
I
the
want to
fact
hear
that he
this.
looks so cool that you think, is this guy stoned? Is he some kind of psychopath? Now, I have to tell you, when I see a person who is doing something like this without looking scared at all, I start thinking they're a little bit on the psychopathic side.
See, I don't know if this guy's a psychopath. I don't know that. But he's a professional. I don't know. But to me, I, he looks like he's got a little bit of an extra chin here. You know what I mean? Which most of us do. But I don't know if that's how it's just kind of pushed up there. But every time I see that, I do think of Daly. But he doesn't have the same build. It doesn't seem like his Daly as well. But Daly was so damn nervous. So damn nervous. And what led the FBI to their house, to his house? I've got some documents I want to
Because
show
there's
you
no
in a
concern
second.
at all, nothing beyond
Definitely
not wanting
heartless.
to get caught and stopped. There doesn't seem to be any threat that is causing this person to have physiological symptoms of nervousness. So then you start saying, why is that person's nervous system not acting normally? Even if if any one of us
I love
planned
how he
with
put
everything
that.
we know about crime, decided we were going to go and do something like this, we would be a little nervous, a little bit.
Thank you.
This person looks like they're taking a stroll in the park. I don't agree with the person in the audience.
Yes. Yes. Daly was big time nervous. But again, I was just saying Daly looks very nervous. But guess what? This guy doesn't look nervous. Right? His body is not giving nervous. Now, again, this it doesn't align, right? It doesn't align with nervous being not nervous. Why was Daly nervous? Was it because all the attention? Was it because of potentially he knew something? Uh, just because of all this, police around him? I don't know, but there's a difference, and that's one thing that people will say, this kind of looks like Daly, or it does or doesn't, but they don't add up. Now, some people don't get extremely nervous until the heat is on them, right? I mean, they might be a little nervous as they're going in there. It just depends who they are. But I don't know. Does T have brothers or cousins in the U.S.? Allegedly. Yeah. I wonder about the elder abuse. I feel as if the sheriff was tipped off by either DCF or concerned family members that the church friend about the way Nancy was being treated by a certain family. Yeah, me too, Ginger. Me too. Yeah.
The audience
Let
says
me
that
show you
that's all
this.
BS. I don't agree. I think these things are all logical. So, and
I
if you
agree.
don't agree with any of this, please tell me in terms of my thought process here. So, my sense is this guy, based on what I'm seeing on the screen, looks like this is not his first rodeo with crime. He's probably committed home invasions before and has a kind of callous disregard. That can also be glimpsed by the fact that this person did what he did with an 84-year-old person, right? And looks like that, knowing that
I feel like this guy will do anything for money. I don't feel like he's like this. This may sound weird. I don't feel, maybe he's just, I don't feel like he's been into, when I say like crime, I think he's probably got some sort of crime history, but I'm not sure I agree with Dr. Gary here. And the reason is, it seems like this guy does not, I mean, it does, well, let me just take that back because I'm thinking about it another way now. You can be a criminal and just not have been a felon, right? So you can be a criminal, you can be a big time criminal and not ever went to jail. Um, but he doesn't seem, this went to CODIS and it didn't give anything back, allegedly. Hi, my friends. Hello, Miss Kelsey. Good to see you. Just listening, no glasses. Girl, get your glasses on. Come on. Come on now. Maybe a criminal and just never caught. Well, I mean, yeah, you got to realize there's more criminals outside than there is on the inside of, jail, prison. All right, but look at this. This wasn't the one. Hold on. No, this is the flower one. Let me find the other one. Damn, 1 second. Where's the other one? Hold on. Good Lord. Okay. Whenever you see, again, this guy, watch him. He's not in any hurry at all. Doesn't want to be seen, but not in a hurry. Right? To me, he doesn't. I don't know. I don't think he's like this. He's knocking down people's doors every night and unaliving someone. I think he's might have graduated high school, probably did, but may have quit early. But I think he's, like I said, I think he cares about what people thinks of him, how he dresses, how he looks, all of that. Okay.
this is an 84-year-old victim, right? That's going to be bleeding and taken out of the house and everything else. So already we get a sense of a person who is callous. If you are a person who is callous, you don't become that kind of person
Hey,
at this
Miss
person's
Millie, good to
approximate
see you.
age. Chances are you have a sociopathic
Yeah, I
character
don't
structure
either,
that's going to go
ever.
all the way back to the time you're a kid. Conduct disorder precedes antisocial personality features, and you tend to see that stuff going back a long way. Now, why is that important? Because this person probably is going to have a history of prior criminal behavior, which means someone in prison might know them, somebody in a jail might know them.
And somebody around there's got to know him. Somebody. Dr. Gary Cardo is about money or making. He's a wonderful guy. He's a wonderful man. Dr. Gary is. by the way, can y'all put Dr. Gary's book on Amazon? Can y'all drop his link? Do you have it? It's a very good book. Very good book. It's called The New Evil, Understanding the I've got it it's on Audible too. Let me see here. It's called The New Evil. If someone could drop that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Very good book. There we go. Thank you, Miss Kelsey. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, there is. I don't think there is an essay mode
The
at
local
all.
cops might even
I
know
agree.
them, right? That's important too. I mean, for
Lots
God's
of
sake, the
layers.
guy has very specific visual characteristics, physical characteristics, the way he leans, the way he walks. They could be interviewing people in a prison setting or in a jail setting and saying, "Ever seen this guy before? Does he look familiar?" You guys know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that you would want to talk to the demimonde in the area who may have encountered this individual before. And then the other thing,
You know, this guy's got to have some X's. He's got to have some X's. They've got to know him in the area. And again, I think this guy. It seems like most people believes he's local. I believe he's local, but again, they seem to be looking also in Texas, New Mexico, California, Nevada, Mexico, as well. Dr. Gary, yeah, there's photos, but I've got the ebook, or not the ebook, the Audible. I kind of do too, Clad Queen, but I don't know. Again,
that's interesting about it is with that kind of person, since
I,
it's
I-
so personality
well,
based,
let me just say this: I don't think this guy is not Tommaso. He is not Tommaso. There is a big, big age difference. Now, again, does that mean family's not involved? Hell no. But it's definitely not Tommaso.
chances are
That guy
this
is.
person has done things in their life that are going to stand out to people because I do believe this person's local. People in the local area would know that this is a person who has a very distinct personality. So, what kind of personality do you tend to see in people that are cool headed when committing a
Maybe.
crime? They're usually extremely sensitive to being insulted, very
Say
explosive,
that again, Gary. You cut off.
they're usually very sensitive to being insulted.
Hey, Susie Q. Good to see you, my friend. What'd you say? Pick with tablet in the background. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Susie Q, I'm going to drop it. Here's my email, or you can text it to me. Or text 30. Yeah, I would love to see that. Please and thank you. 307-228-4906. Oh, damn. Mods, I just messed that up. Can y'all drop that again? 307-228-4906. You can text it or you can email it at alljustice, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. Thank you, my dear.
And hold grudges for a long time.
Yeah.
So what you tend to
I
hear
got
is
it.
things like, I remember that guy. He came into the supermarket once and somebody bumped into his shoulder and he started screaming at the guy, told him he was going to kill him. I remember that very distinctly. You know that kind of a character? Grudge holding,
I don't know
nasty,
about that.
has to level the
Okay, I
playing
just
field
got the
kind of
picture.
character. That's very, very important because you start getting the sense that this person in the local area has been noticed either as somebody using drugs.
Okay, look at this, guys. I'm going to show you this picture. I don't know if this is security in the back. I don't know. On the tablet there. What do y'all think? Hello, did you miss my message? Miss Deborah. Justin, click frame by frame when he picks up the plants and uses his face turns toward the camera just before full face to camera. You can see shaded hair line and facial hair. I'll look at it. The thing about it is I don't trust the night vision. I don't trust the night vision because it's so distorted, but I will look at it. This is Savannah and Nancy. Someone said that this could be, I don't know what this is a picture of. Maybe it is like the video camera outside. But hey, Miss Sherry, she's right here. She's right here. Thank you, darling. Love you. Appreciate you. I was showing pictures and stuff last night. Oh my God, I about cried. She was so little. Thank you, baby. I'm going to do a live soon, I promise. I promise, my dear. Thank you so much. Looks like face with hands in front of it, fingernails toward camera. I don't know. It's so hard to say on this. You know what I mean? I'm only child, but have seen varying degrees of jealousy dynamics. And I wonder about that, Cosmic. So, I mean, you got to think about uh, success is in the eye of the individual, right? Someone can feel successful, but maybe in the eyes of most of the world, because they're not, with a PhD or a doctorate, they may not be as successful in the eyes, but in their eyes, they are, and so, but there seems to be, by you would say the world's, uh, how they view success. There's a difference in what um, Savannah and Cameron versus Annie, right?
In the final section, body. Behind the pupil, a floret of lines burst toward release. A question is raised. The body gives its cross-hatched replies.
I don't get this poetry. Again, the body relives its crushed hatch replies. Baked beans, douche, lawn chair. That's my poetry for today. Baked beans, douche, lawn chair. You're welcome. What's the damn bell?
Whatever in the bloom.
This
What
is Wheel of
never
Fortune.
on what dream's shelf is ever wilting. On top the night's helm, my howling, starless, stark ahems.
Ahem.
The tyrant.
Ahem. This is not good poetry, in my opinion. Ahem.
Ahas. Unmoored from port of stem, thinkers keep their words. put too many coins in GD. It doesn't play. And then, if still or even unplugged.
You know, again, I think the personality is not as great as Savannah's. Just my opinion. You know, maybe she's not, 100% that day. We're not all 100% every day. I'm just saying. Um, but, she wouldn't buy poetry tickets from her.
From the hook and hung by, get me down, I'm upside down, trying the will, riding it. Bones tell too much of life to skin.
My soul says no. My spirit
Behind
says
all
no.
faces, all bone. I saw in one moment an eye open enough
At the
to
Kmart?
soften the gaze. In there should dare weigh nothing.
It's like, I'm sorry, but poetry like this, I mean, I understand poetry is very personal. My great grandfather has a poetry book. Uh, I get it, but I don't get it as well. I don't get it as well. To me, it's just like reading the dictionary or just an encyclopedia or something. It's just like a word, another word. There's like no context clues that I'm following here at all. At all.
Walking days under rib cage of oaks by the river. Sometimes it opens. You are in the body of oak bones. Other times whitens in grimace.
Okay, my turn. Flapjack, goblin, pickle. Flapjack, goblin, pickle.
Retrieves a perceiving.
Hiccup, gizzard, flop.
Or it could be a body. It might be your body.
Bonkers, meatloaf, squabble.
In that case, how silly all this time.
Muffin, ferret, yams.
Belief in nothing, collecting. The lateness of
Possum, doohickey, turnip.
hours. Sun and sea setting, light as face.
Muppet, gizzard, waddle.
Reflecting, finding a sameness in things.
Tootsie, scooter, cabbage.
The body took the blame for the deeds of the mind. It was this kind.
Snickerdoodle, tater tot, squirt.
Of human.
Okay.
From
How'd I do? How'd I do? Did I do good? I think I did. Just. Susie, I showed it, right? I just want to make sure I got your email. I don't know. To me, you know something? This picture looks like it's around Christmas. I just noticed this. It does look like it's around Christmas. This looks like that, I don't know, like a Christmas candy. Kind of looks Christmassy. We've got the poinsettias, right, and all that. So I don't know. Hey, Jason, you're a poet and did know it. Laughing so hard. She referenced another body. Could be something. I don't know. Roses are red, violets are blue, Annie is dark, and I heard a dog bark. Hey, I'm a poet too. Yes, you are. I'm sorry. I just don't get that stuff. Um, he also has a piano page. He writes music. Hold on. What's this? Oh, yeah. Dr. Gary. There we go. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for that. All right, so let me show you this. Wait, is this the one? Okay, here we go. Here's Dr. Gary and Chris in the interview room. I want to show. This was it. Okay.
I agree with both Dans on everything that they have said at the detective level, but let me approach this from a supervisory level. So if I'm called out to this, if I'm the sergeant and you guys are a couple of detectives working with me, I'm going to make sure that you have absolutely everything that you need, regardless of what that is. And if I can get it, I will make it happen. From a command level, and what I mean for the audience, what I mean by that is from the lieutenant rank on up.
You know how I read that at the very beginning? I read it as the poetry is like Japanese haktui, but extreme modern, but it's not haktui.
And I guess we can say, in this case, Nanos, because we know he responded to the scene. But I also have to believe that there was at least a captain,
yes,
or even a chief. Remember, that agency has, I believe, 7 chiefs underneath Sheriff Nanos.
Got it, Jason.
I'm probably going to respond to that. And as a chief, or in my former position as an undersheriff, I'm going to make sure that my sergeant has everything that he needs. I'm going to make sure that the detectives have everything they need. I'm going to make sure that
Black Bear.
either
I've heard that.
I call out a PIO, and a lot has been said. We've all said a lot about the PIO work in this case. I'm going to make sure that I have a PIO coming out to this, because this is.
Do you think? I wonder if Savannah has a private investigator. Like, and when I say a private investigator, I mean like a private investigator. Like, her family doesn't know private investigator. I do too, Ginger. You know, most like Wiccans and pagans and stuff are very good people. You know, I mean, I'll be honest with you. The Wiccan or anything like that doesn't bother me at all. I know it does bother some people, but I would be just as afraid of like a Christian priest as I would a Wiccan, to be honest with you, because it doesn't matter when people who want someone gone, they do it. So not here, little black bear. I feel she does have a PI, but that's why she seems like, I think she cares. I just I think she's being manipulated. I
is
really do.
obviously going to be a high profile case. And so I'm going to put all those things in place.
I still got to
One
show
thing
these
that was
documents.
always a pet peeve of mine at any scene, whether I'm a detective, a sergeant, or any position above, is too narrow of a perimeter. And I always like to expand the perimeter out a little bit. And so in this case, I would be pushing, and I know some of the media had.
I don't think they are, though. I don't think Wiccans are like black witchcraft is not something anyone should mess around with. I agree. I mean, my personal convictions are that, right? Like I personally don't mix psychics with true crime, right? Um yeah, and I agree with that. But I really just try to respect all people's beliefs, um if they worship, if they not worship. And I believe as myself, as a person of faith, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's just me, though, my personal beliefs.
Are going to have a conniption fit over this, but I'm going to push them back. They're not going to be in the front of the house. I'm pushing them away.
Right.
I'm putting some uniforms in the back. I'm putting not only tape up, but I'm putting uniforms in the back of the house to make sure nobody can come up and start photographing over the wall or approach the residence in any way. So I'm going to expand this crime scene. And then
Yeah, yeah, Deb. I mean, that's the thing. You're right. Christians or anybody, if you practice, because I mean, all all faith, um, is pretty much do no harm. It doesn't matter what kind of faith you are. It doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter if you're Christian, uh, Judaism, Islam, Hindu, uh, Wiccan or whatever. It's really do no harm, right? The golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But people still will say that they are, for instance, Christian and do things. We're all flawed, but just like some people will be an extremist in some sort of religion or another. Are they really that, or are they that and a flawed human being? I don't know. You know what I mean? So I just try not to. You know what I mean?
once again, I'm going to make sure I have a good PIO in place. And I'm going to make sure that, again, my sergeant, my lieutenant, whatever, and especially the detectives have everything that they need. And when the crime scene evidence people get there, same thing goes with them. The whole team, whatever the sergeant and the detectives need, I'm going to do everything I can to get that for them.
That is true,
Because
but they have their own.
if you can't listen
That's good
to,
and bad,
and I don't mean this in a demeaning way, this is actually a military phrase.
Always late. We have some great poets in our chat. I agree. I agree. Yes, we do. Thank you so much, always, for 25 months. You are a legend and a rock star. I really do appreciate that. Being with me for 25 months. That's very humbling. Thank you so much, my friend.
From a Delta Force commander by the name of Pete Blabber that always says, always listen to the guys and gals on the ground. Okay. And the guys and gals on the ground in this case are the detectives and the sergeant, the first line supervisor. So if you can't listen to them and give them what they need, you're really missing the boat. And I think that's where the leadership in the Pima County.
Yes, but that's the thing. Really, people are agnostic too. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, whether we are we consider ourselves religious, whatever religion to practice, or not religious to not practice. As human beings, we generally inherently know the difference in what is good and what is not, right? We are generally taught in what is good and what is not. Your heart will kind of tell you. So yeah, you're right.
Sheriff's office in this particular case failed miserably. So,
Okay.
And even if I can jump on that,
Dan.
I mean, even before that, from what I'm hearing, the sheriff there has really, they've had a mass exodus of experience, which is horrible. This poor guy, whoever it is that's handling, I'm hearing he's never handled a murder. Not his fault.
Thank you for saying that. I am really glad other law enforcement is saying this, because I have said this for quite a while. I don't believe it's the guy that was uh, put in homicide, even though he was put there in homicide because apparently he scratches Sheriff Doofy's ego, right? Um, I I still think that Sheriff Doofy is the one to blame, because it's his department, and that is he shouldn't have, people need to be there on what their merits are, how hard they work, their performance, all of that. I wondered if it was more convenient to Uber over, especially if she didn't drive at night, and get a ride home. That makes sense if everything after that I get lost over. Niv, I I honestly have, to me, it bothers me that all of this seems to happen on, number one, the weekend. Number two, it happens right the same day, just maybe minutes, maybe, within hours, certainly, of her being dropped off. And it's almost like, uh, like how she was dropped off in a manner that was like, it's like he didn't even, it feels like he didn't even stop his car. Like the car kept going, and Nancy was just not, uh, nobody went in with her. The door was up and down in 2 minutes. And there's not really, all of this happened on this one day on the weekend. And that's the way it feels, because again, 2 minutes. Uh, I could never um, leave anybody. Uh, I don't care if it's a family member or not. If I was dropping an elderly person home, particularly a woman, I would go check. I would at least help her in. I would at least help her in, because when you're 84 years old, it's not even, it is about safety, but it's also about, yeah, someone could be in your home or whatever, but it's about her making it to the bed, her making it, uh, not falling, as well. Particularly if she had some drinks, and we do know that Nancy liked her drinks. Let's be real about that. She did. A stranger would have had the case cased the place for weeks to ensure a pattern, yes, of being home or not. How did they know if strangers that she was alone? That's another reason why I believe family. I agree. And it takes a lot of energy uh, to know a pattern of anybody, even an 84-year-old woman, right? Because yeah, we all have patterns and all of that. Um, but again, you've got to figure a way to get in that house, right? You've got to figure a way to make sure these interior cameras and even some exterior cameras aren't recording. Um,
It's Nano's fault. I mean, you've got everybody leaving the job, and now you get a heater case like this. Oh my God!
Yeah,
Terrible.
and just yeah, I totally agree, Dan. And just one more point. I'm not in the camp, and I've said this on the show before. I'm not in the camp where I'm poking holes at everything that the uniform.
Guys, we need 97 likes. Love you, Green Eyes. Green Eyes is not even a mod and works so hard for our thumbs up. Thank you so much, Green Eyes. I appreciate you so much, baby. Very kind. Justin, in my opinion, he dropped her off like she was an Uber delivery. I would say Uber would probably be there longer than 2 minutes. You know what I mean? It's very weird. And this is the thing. I hate thinking this. I am not comfortable with even saying this, but I feel how I feel. You know what I mean? Like, again, I don't know, but there's a lot of weird things there. The perp was on camera, was hired. I agree. I knew worked for, and I wish he would turn the other guy. I want to know who he worked for. And yes, I agree. I agree. The stars in the sky that shined like time's effervescent glimmer in your eyes for a time. I forgot Hoda's grunting. Jason, stop. That's funny. I find something up with Savannah. I don't. I feel bad for Savannah. I feel terrible for Savannah.
Farms did when they got there.
But sometimes I also feel like I was speaking to one of my friends today. I hadn't talked to her in a while, and she works for a police station, I'll just say. And we were talking about, I can't say the word on here, but it starts with an S, and we call it self-inflicted unalivings. And we were talking about how, because I've worked at funeral homes, and so I've seen a lot from all different types of deaths, and I've been around police and a lot of different things, I'll just say. And whenever one of the hardest things for families, particularly whenever like their loved one self-inflicts their own unaliving, it's hard for them. They always, not always, but many times, they think it's something else. No, 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 this couldn't have happened. Right? They would never do that. And there's a lot of denial. There's a lot of denial. And we as individuals, generally, not saying that's ever, but think that we're different than everyone else, right? But life happens, death happens, unfortunately, and uh, people are at moments where they do these things, and it's really hard to see your own when you're in that storm, um, when it's your family member, and I again, and sometimes people know, but they don't want to go there, or they suspect and they don't want to go there. Um, if there's someone they know, love, care about, um, even realize things look really weird, but you just for emotions get involved. Of course, absolutely, emotions get involved. I mean, how could they not? Right? How could they not? Um, we're emotional creatures, um, and emotion means you care.
Because number one, we don't know exactly what they did. Number two, I got to think that there was some experienced patrol deputies there, probably a patrol sergeant. And I'll go back again to the Pete Blabber quote, and that's always listen to the guys on the ground. How many times as detectives did we go to the uniforms working a particular area and want to know what's going on in this neighborhood or at that house or over here or over there? Dan Stover, I know you did that a million
Yes,
times in
I need to
Chicago.
show them.
Oh,
The
heck
street
yeah.
cops know what's going on.
Thank
And
you,
it's
my
the
dear.
same thing, in my opinion, in a homicide investigation. You get a hold of the street cops, the cops that are working that area, and I'm talking about the uniforms. I don't care how much experience they have. I don't care how many years they have on the street. You go to them, you find out what's going on if you need to know what's going on in that particular neighborhood. And this case is no different, in my opinion. So,
Yeah, like in Chicago, we had what we call beats and sectors. And I'll tell you what, nothing better than a good beat copper that
exactly.
knew everybody on their beat. Any trouble, if you got a shooting, that person's going to know, okay, that's probably going to come from over here. Just huge amount of knowledge.
Yeah, regardless of the jurisdiction. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry to jump in there, Dan.
No.
Regardless of the jurisdiction, I think most cops throughout the country would agree that, and most detectives, that you go to the beat cops because they really know what's going on. And that's where a lot of command level administrators, sheriffs, under sheriffs, captains, and so forth, the ones that are behind the desk, that's where many of them, not all, but many of them really miss the boat, is they don't go out and talk to the street cops and find out what's going on out there
Okay,
to
y'all ready
stay
for this
current.
document? We'll come back
Great
to this in just a second, but there has been so much said in this for literally nearly the last 70 days that I want to remind you guys of some things that comes directly from law enforcement, okay? And it says, doorbell video released by the FBI. Investigators are working with Walmart management to identify and isolate the individual who purchased the backpack. Now look at this. DNA. The process takes time. As mentioned above, there was gloves submitted by CODIS produced no hits. Okay. There is an additional DNA evidence that was found at the residence and is also being analyzed. Okay. Now look at this. Guthrie family look at the words, in criminal investigation, evidence is examined to either build a case or clear individuals. At this point in the investigation, the Guthrie family, including siblings and spouses, have not been identified as suspects. That's very interesting wording. That's very interesting wording because the FBI and law enforcement in cases like this generally will never name a suspect. They will only go arrest someone. They do the investigation behind the scenes. Just about always. The only time they generally do like a suspect or something is if like for instance there is a public pew-pewing, right? Like in a, God forbid, a theater or something like that, and they get loose. Then they'll name a suspect or a person of interest. But this is very interesting. It says the wording, they have not been identified as suspects. Well, it doesn't say anybody is cleared. You gotta watch the wording on this. It doesn't say cleared. It's nobody's a suspect. We don't have a suspect. No suspects. I'm not saying they are suspects or not suspects, but it's very interesting, these words here. Okay. And I don't know if Chris is watching right now, but Chris, if you're watching, could you comment? Because he'll tell you that the way the wording is very interesting. Leads. Investigators are still processing evidence from 2 search warrants executed last week. The individuals who questioned have been released and no arrests have been made. As this investigation continues, you can expect to see similar activity. Really? As this investigation continues, you can expect to see similar activity. We can expect them to see knocking down more doors. That's interesting. Why does it say they have not been identified as suspects either? Just because you do search warrants, does that mean they're suspects? I mean, you do search warrants. Obviously, there's should be sufficient probable cause for you to have those search warrants, right? Yeah, Neva, I get it. So that's interesting how they talk about the 2 search warrants they did, right? Hold on, let me check this 1 second. Uh, 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 let me see here. March 12th, February 17th. 1 second. When did he say? I want to check something before I say this. Okay. February 16th. Okay. 1 second. This is interesting. He said that on February 16th that the family and then the next day he explained that although there was, in the first few days, he felt a public statement was necessary to stop cruel and irresponsible online rumors. This was the 16th. And the next day, they write this, that the Guthrie family, including siblings and spouses, have not been identified as suspects. That is not cleared in any way, shape, or form. I just cannot get over that part. Okay. PCSD has not confirmed the number of leads investigators are actively pursuing regarding GUN shops. One second. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And investigators are canvassing businesses and showing the doorbell video released by the FBI to determine whether the suspect appears familiar. Which is, to me, interesting because Mr. Sheriff got really mad, in my opinion, that the FBI released the video. This is where he's talking about being don't leave trash in the parking lot. The DNA was submitted to CODIS was from the two gloves. It did not trigger a match in the National CODA database and did not match DNA found on the property from the gloves. The DNA found at the property is being analyzed and further testing need to be part of the investigation. Okay. Very interesting things right there. Guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't yet, double tap that screen. Do you think Senator King pressured known ads to publicly deflect suspicion away? I believe, in my opinion, that there was pressure from perhaps family, perhaps senators, perhaps, I don't know. We are aware that the doorbell images released earlier in the investigation depict a suspect in different stages of attire, including with and without a backpack. There is no date or timestamp associated with the images. Therefore, any suggestion that the photographs were taken on different days is purely speculative. This remains an active and ongoing criminal investigation with him. It's like he just has to argue. His people are putting out that they believe it's 2 days, behind the scenes. But he just has to freaking argue with you. It's absolutely crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Okay. Moving on here. It was the inspection. Oh. Did y'all see this? Reviewing camera footage from February 1st between 7 a.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Eastern and share any relevant recordings with the investigating agency. Okay. This is where they were requesting um 2226 endangered missing adult. The Pima County Sheriff's Department is urgently requesting your assistance in locating Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old, who was last seen January 31st, 2026 at her residence near East Skyline Drive. Now, and North Campbell Avenue. But again, this is Sheriff Nanos. Do we really know when 95% of other agencies, if they would say at her residence, I would believe that they had proof that she made it to the residence. And I still do think she made it at her residence. But Nanos, you just never know. We are requesting all video footage during the requested time frame. I'm going to show you that. If you have Ring cameras, please submit it through the community request link within this post. For any information or video footage, please call or email directly. Review Ring camera footage from February 1st, 2026, between 7 a.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Eastern, and share any relevant recordings with the investigating agency. And let me show you the map right here. Okay. Now, why are they asking between 7 and 1? Why not 2 a.m. and why 7? My point exactly. Thank you. My point exactly. I have an aunt and uncle who had a gambling problem and their grandfather living with them, and they were siphoning money out of his account. Yep. Yep, that happens. But this makes me wonder, okay, could be simply real. This makes me wonder, were people there around Nancy's house before there was any calls that Nancy didn't show up for church? Was there any activity around her house? Is there more video we haven't seen with this time frame? Thank you, Miss Sandy. Appreciate you, baby. If you acknowledge my message I said about Luke knowing Kayla, will you please acknowledge my... I didn't see your other message, Deborah, but I do know they... Yeah. In fact, I've got a letter right here of Luke I've got so much stuff I just can't show it all tonight. Have you ever seen this? Honorable Judge Bell from Luke Daly. This is from 2019. Have y'all ever seen this? Barbara, thank you so much, darling. Thank you so very much for your support. I mean, very kind of you. You are a rock star. Really do appreciate you, Miss Barbara. Good to see you, and thank you so much for your support. Y'all have not seen this letter? I'll read it to you if you want. This is January 1, 2019. This is Luke Daly replying to the Honorable Judge Bell. It has been 1 year since we wrote you on behalf of our son. Okay, this is Luke's parents. Sorry. Luke Daly. He is an update. Here is an update on our life since that time. I guess it's his parents. December 26, 2018. Luke's dad went into home hospice with us caring for him 24/7. Luke, Matthew, Bridget, and I were all with him until God came for him on April 12th, 2018. One second. Whose birthday is it? I didn't see your other message. Actually denied even being friends with her in that interview. I don't think Luke denied being friends with her. I think he denied being girlfriends or something. But it was a tragic loss for us all. Luke took the night shift and we all shared the days. John was an amazing father, husband, and Catholic priest and psychologist to many. Luke had the hardest time accepting their loss. He continued to work for our company, paid his probation fines, seen his PO, but he wasn't doing the drug drops. I now realize he began self-medicating and avoiding his feelings. He never seemed impaired. He was numbing himself from the loss. We've all been very sad and grieving. Coping is hard. He was staying more with his girlfriend and being a dad to her two sons. I wonder how old they are. Lady's birthday. Happy birthday, lady. He isn't their biological father, but is the only dad that they've ever known, and he is caring, and he is a caring one. His relationship with who? Him? G. Karen to fall apart after John died, which was another huge loss for him after 8 years together. John, PhD, who seemed impaired for him. And on August 1st, 2018, he was at the courthouse for his revocation of probation hearing with you. Attorney Russell Hughes was representing him, and I was gone with in Russ Kurt. There's something wrong with the text. Luke's family. Mr. Hughes assured us that I didn't need to be there as he was going to ask for an extension to show that most of the charges his PO noted were incorrect. We had knew his documentation to show you, but we don't think in enough that the court we had more info to gather. This was the beginning of a crazy time for Luke, where in court and where Luke arrived, he was going to jail. I don't understand why his attorney would make this decision when we've been told or them until that he was canceled and that my animal tried to sell the house caring for my I don't even get this caring for my house and my animal in my 10-day absence and had not gone MO canceled and left without seeing you. Judges fell. It's something the way this uploaded or something. This was the beginning of a crazy time for Luke, which uh, accumulated for him, causing an accident. We are all externally grateful that the passengers were not seriously hurt. Oh, he had an accident. He had an accident. He had another accident? Didn't he just wreck a car recently? I don't know. I kind of want to know too. Okay. Okay. Uh, we are all eternally grateful that the passengers were not seriously hurt. I had to stop contact with him until he turned himself in. He had he has been in jail since November 25th, 2018. Luke is a good man with a sensitive heart and a rug problem. He is not a criminal. He made some uh I don't know, something during his crazy time, and he needs to do the right thing now, take the consequences and start his life over again. A wiser, better, sober man. He is 29, that was in 2018, and has a lot of life ahead of him to create a new beginning. As a 70-year-old widow, I love and need my son now more than ever. I have some health issues and require the help and love that he provides. His sons, 8 and 13, need his love. Okay, so that was 2018 or 2019? 2018, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. So 16, uh, so they would be 16 and 21 now. His, they would call his sons, even though they're not his sons, need his love and time. He tells me to accept that he will go to prison. That is very difficult for me. I pray he will be safe, close to Tucson, and be home with me again soon. I talk to him daily and visit weekly. Thank you for considering these circumstances as you make your decision regarding him and our future. Sincerely, Miss Mary Daly, Mother. Word to the mother. So it's not actually his son. Uh, this was, I guess, it didn't upload right. This letter, the way they filed it, sometimes it does that when they do multiple, like with these old machines when they upload them in the records. Um, he was staying more with his girlfriend and being a dad to her two sons. He isn't their biological father, but the only dad that they've ever known, and he is a caring one. So they would be about 16, 17-ish. One would be, and the other one would be 21 or 22-ish now. Um, I think he went to jail. I'm pretty sure that he did. Hopo, where have you been? It has been 40 days and 40 nights. I have not seen you. Hello, Justin. Thank you for all you do. My 50th birthday was the other day. Big prayers for mom. She had brain tumor. Go to doctor tomorrow. Baby. Love you, Hobo. Happy belated birthday. We are praying for your mommy. Please keep me posted. Please keep me posted. I'm 30 now. I'm old now. Girl, it's only downhill. I hate to tell you. Oh, I'm just kidding. Belated birthday wishes. Sorry, Mama, but yeah, there's something fishy going on in that family. I think his mom is a very good person, but I think she is manipulated. I think she's manipulated. I think Luke manipulates the hell out of her too, in my opinion. Just my opinion. I've got some floor plans, all kinds of floor plans, some other floor plans that I have, by the way. Um, just all kinds of stuff here. 1200 River. Hold on, what's this? I need to go through all this stuff. I haven't seen this. 5820 Escalante. This is old. Yeah, I'll go through some of these. Oh, wait. Y'all got to see this. Wait a second. Wait a second. I forgot to show y'all this. Hold on. Did y'all see this? Nancy Guthrie wrote this article on animals bites go up in the summer. Caution is necessary. Did y'all ever see this article that she wrote in the news? I didn't think so. I didn't think so. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, didn't think so. Y'all ready? Nancy wrote this a while back. Um, by Nancy Guthrie for the Tucson citizens. Humans aren't the only species showing signs of crankiness in these blistering days of summer. Dogs and cats do too. And if pestered or bothered, some of them might bite. Like their owners, household pets are sometimes better left to siesta in the shade, lounge by the pool, or stretched out, tummies down on the cool tile floors. Charles Dickens' 19th century advice to let sleeping dogs lie certainly has its application as temperatures continue to soar over 100-degree mark. Unfortunately, a lot of people, the majority of them children, ignore Dickens and suffer the consequences of a bad bite. Through May 11th, the Pima County Animal Control Center has logged 2,147 reports of dog bites and 541 reports of cat bites. That's an increase of 3.5% for dog bites and 4% of cat bites over last year. Of those bitten by dogs, 66% had to be treated by a doctor or taken to the emergency room. Cat bites seldom are serious. Animal control reports total animal bites up to 12.5%. Many of the bites could be avoided if people learned to take simple safety precautions, said MC Callahan, a South Side veterinarian. Children don't know how to act around dogs, she said. They should have they they have to be taught not to approach strange animals. Dogs are more aggressive towards children because they are small. They rarely attack adult males because dogs somehow sense their dominance, he said. Children should never try to break up a fight or attempt to play with the dogs that are chained. A significant number of bites occur that way. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to post this on my page. This was July 5th, 1990. If you want to read the rest of it, July 5th, 1990. Why? Because there's no reason other than financial, like someone's really mad. In my opinion, when Luke got detained, he was not there. He said he was going and doing something he didn't have any business doing, and his secret relapse or cheating was busted out, and why he's acting weird. Um, I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, Hobo Honey, you've had a lot to worry about. I understand. My grandson was bitten by feral cats last summer, and we had no choice other than to take him. Yes, and cat bites are particularly bad. Cats bites are far worse than dogs. I mean, dogs can be more damaging, if you will, but cats are more germy, if you will. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna end it here. I'm almost at 3 hours. It's almost 11 o'clock. Oh my God, the day goes so by so quick, guys. So quick. It's crazy. Cats can very, very nasty. This cat scratch fever, all of that. Once I tried to separate a cat fight, never again. Mm-mm. Oh, it is a real thing. It absolutely is a real thing. Thank you, Bo. Good to see you, darling. More likely to get infected cat bites. Absolutely. Thank you, AM. I was bitten by a dog in Ottawa, Ontario, and I need to go to the hospital. Yes, if you would be so kind, like I see you asked, would you please come back and hype this show after it ends? I'd be so grateful. So, so grateful. Really, really do appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Special, special thanks to mods members and chat. You guys are amazing. And to my replay crew, thank you so much. Yes. And guys, if y'all are not subscribed to my other channel, Justin for All, subscribe over there. I really need to go live over there. The Remy and stuff. There's just not enough hours in the day. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get merch out and all of that. I need like 5 assistants. Hey, Deb, love you too. Hey, Susie Q, Bo, Sandy. Jason, last night I was awoken by the sound of a cat in heat outside. You know what? That sound was almost, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. I used to do like I would help out when our shelter got way over full. It'd have to be way over full before I'd do it, but I didn't want them to be, put to sleep or anything. And I not adopted, fostered a couple cats, and one of them was wasn't fixed yet, um, because she was in heat. That was the most annoying cat I have ever seen in my life. So annoying. Like that cat would like it was like weird. Like cats are you understand what feral is whenever they're like in heat. Yeah. And if you've ever heard cats outside, like they're not fixed. They're Satan. I just subbed your other channel. Thank you so much. Thank you, love. Yes, make sure you're subbed up to Justin for all. I've really got to go live more. I hope I get my car back tomorrow. I hope so. It's been like 3 weeks or maybe more than that since I've had my car. I've had a hard time getting a part. Oh, Chris. Yeah, I didn't. The sheriff was at Annie and Tommaso's neighborhood and the Nancy Guthrie home. But there is some reports that they are going back and thank you, Deb. And hopefully going through some things again. I don't know. Hopefully it's something. I'll go over more of it. I got to get in and didn't know how they acted until she went. He thought I was going crazy before. They're totally different. Oh, I don't have. I don't got Daisy Basham on Justin for all. Daisy Basham was this channel. I see you. When I had Daisy Basham character, that was this channel. But that's what this channel used to be. Yeah. I fostered a feral cat. When she was spayed, I thought I would be nice. Oh, God. All right, guys. Much love, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Get some rest. Take good care of yourself. It's spring for most of us. It might be fall for you guys in the Southern Hemisphere. Either way, take good care of yourself. Life is short. You only get so many trips around the sun. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Maybe live tomorrow with Sebastian Rogers' case. There's some things that was put out, and no, we're going to talk about it. So we'll see, and probably be live about Nancy Guthrie tomorrow as well. So we'll see. Love you guys. Good night, everyone. God bless.